Welcome to another episode of SporvadoSports. This is Evan, aka Big Ev. Unfortunately, Big Body Bronson is not here tonight. It is fine though. The show still goes on. So obviously, there's a lot has happened this past week and a half. Super Bowl, NBA, all that stuff, the whole shebang there. But yeah, I would like to get into it. So the topics I want to cover today are obviously a Super Bowl recap. Huge win for the Chiefs over the 49ers. So obviously my prediction went through with the Chiefs winning, but it was still a good game either way. 49ers blew it big time. And then we'll also cover obviously the recent firing of Steve Mills, the former team president of the New York Knicks. And finally, the AllStar Weekend is coming up, and I would like to go over the contestants and for the 3-point and the dunk contest. So it's a little exciting this year to watch as some old faces are reappearing. So get right into it. Kansas City Chiefs. This is a great. Either way, I was happy. I'm an Eagles fan, so I didn't really care who won. But obviously, in the end, I was really happy for the Chiefs because Andy Reid, that guy has been in the league for a long time, and he has not gained a Super Bowl yet. So seeing him get a Super Bowl is really awesome. Made me really happy to see him finally get that trophy after so many times of just all those wins in the regular season and playoffs, but he has never gotten that Lombardi trophy yet, and now he does, and it's a great feeling for the sport of football, and kind of seals his Hall of Fame status right there when he retires. Excuse me. So pretty much, it's a great win for Kansas City, and bringing the Lombardi Trophy back to Kansas City is a great feeling too. Obviously, they haven't had a win in a long time for the Super Bowl, and the city of Kansas City is great barbecue, very sweet. You gotta love it. It's just overall great. But what I would like to talk about though, the 49ers blew it big time. Jimmy Garoppolo. Beginning of the game, it was just a little back and forth. It seemed really competitive on both sides. But obviously in the middle there, the 49ers did look like they were going to pull away. But at last second, though, Chiefs came back and won. It was good to see that. And Richard Sherman, shockingly, he did get beat out by Sammy Watkins a couple times during the game. And that kind of he caused some big plays happened through Sammy Watkins over Richard Sherman. So that was huge. Patrick Mahomes, he deserved it. He worked his ass off to get that trophy. Obviously, I wanted Williams to get the MVP because I felt like not saying that Mahomes didn't deserve it. He deserved it all the way. But I felt like Williams was all-around wild card for the Chiefs to get that win. He, got the winning touchdown and all that stuff. And the Chiefs defense held, obviously they have some great pieces on their team like Tyrann Mathieu. But the Chiefs are not known for their defense. Their offense is their high-powered offense. Tyreek Hill, the whole team is on offense is phenomenal. So getting that win, their defense stepping up showed a lot of promising for that team in the future, and the team being that young, that's really exciting for the Chiefs fans in general. And it's also good too on defense. It was a late signing of Terrell Suggs because Terrell Suggs got released by the Cardinals this season, and seeing him get another trophy is really great to see because I feel like he's going to probably retire soon, or he may play another year, but either way, it's great for him. Another phenomenal veteran in the league that you would like to see to get another trophy. But either way, 49ers, do not get super upset. The 49ers are a complete team, and it's very, very, very young. So either way, obviously it's a tough loss to lose in the Super Bowl, to get that far and lose. But in the end, you got all the pieces. They're all super young. and you probably got 2 more years out of Richard Sherman. So I don't feel like, you're missing out on anything. I feel like you guys will be right back into it. So there's no worry there. But in the end, great game. Well fought out by both teams. Obviously, the 49ers choked at the end, but it was still really entertaining to watch. Obviously, not compared to other major Super Bowl games. I'll probably consider my favorite Super Bowl game of all time is probably the one in Tampa, Steelers against the Cardinals. The Antonio Holmes catch was, growing up, that was one of my favorites. And obviously, you gotta like the David Tyree catch. That's another good one. For me, growing up, those were like the most prominent in my memory. All that stuff. But either way, great Super Bowl. Going on, we have Steve Mills getting the boot from the New York Knicks. So, Knicks so far, report card grade a total F. They are a disaster. Honestly, I do not know what's going on with that franchise, but it's just, I feel like they keep recycling, their whole front office and their coaching staff, and nothing's getting done. I was upset they fired Fizdale because literally they had no talent, because there's only a certain point how far the coach can coach and actually make it an advantage for our team, and they didn't have the pieces to win a championship or anything. They have a bunch of young guys, a bunch of old veterans. It didn't make any sense, that team. So the Knicks getting into the playoffs was not going to be possible at all. And just seeing them, fire Fizdale like that was very upsetting to me, as I feel like he was a phenomenal coach. It just never got a chance. Because they were hoping that year the Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant would have gone to the New York Knicks, but it did not happen in the end. And then the firing of Steve Mills is pretty interesting. It just shows you just more instability in the front office, and obviously I want the Knicks to succeed because they're such a historic franchise. I love Madison Square Garden. Only been on the outside of it. I've never been inside of it. I wish I can do. That's on my bucket list, to go to Madison Square MSG game. But just the franchise is historic, and you want it to succeed. You kind of feel bad for them. So hopefully we'll see a turnaround from that team in the future. Cross our fingers. You never know. But right now for the Knicks, not looking too great. So hopefully that turns around, something changes of it and succeeds from it. Obviously you see, the Lakers, for example, they struggled for so many years. Still rest in peace, Kobe, after Kobe got older, team got younger and stuff, they had some tough years. And then they were able to get out of it. Some controversy in the front office, with Magic Johnson and all that stuff. But they got out of it, and look at them now, So, and I feel like still the New York Knicks is a prime location to be, because it's New York. It's a massive, massive market. So I don't think the Knicks fans should be too worried. There's still some positive upside in the future, but it may be a little bit longer into the future. We have to see. You guys have to wait for a little bit of it. Sadly, I feel your pain, being a Blazers fan. But Blazers are we've gotten close. We just suffered through injuries, like Brandon Roy, Greg Oden, the fact that we didn't draft Michael Jordan. That was terrible. We didn't even draft Kevin Durant. That's terrible. So every franchise deals with their ups and downs. The Warriors right now, look at them. They have all the injuries, and they're terrible. After all those, next year when they get Clay and Steph back, they're going to be on fire again. So don't worry about the Warriors fans. Should not worry about that. That just some down year for them. So it's kind of weird. It's not saying the Warriors and the Cavaliers doing great. But in the end, Knicks shouldn't be too worried. I feel like once Dolan leaves, or some shift in the front office, I feel like something will happen um, that will give the Knicks on the right path. But they just got to be patient. They got some nice, solid young pieces in their team, but we'll see what happens in the end. Going on, some exciting All-Star Weekend coming up, especially the dunk contest and the three-point contest. So listing off the names here that I've got, we got for the dunk contest, Dwight Howard, Derek Jones Jr., Aaron Gordon, Pat Connaughton. And then for the three-point contest, we got Devontae Graham, Zach LaVine, Duncan Robinson, Trae Young, Buddy Hield, Davis Bertans, Joe Harris, and Damian Lillard. Right at the bat, Dwight Howard making a return to the dunk contest. It was actually pretty funny this year because I remember they were announcing that Dwight Howard was going to do the dunk contest, and he said he didn't say that at all, which was funny. But in the end, he ended up doing the dunk contest anyways, because I would love to see him back in the in that event, because everyone misses the Superman dunk. Obviously, it wasn't a dunk. He technically threw the ball in, but it was still, either way, very entertaining to watch, and a big moment in All-Star Weekend history. Aaron Gordon returning, Pat Connaughton, a new name, former Blazer and current Milwaukee Buck. He deserves a lot of more attention. I feel like I'm excited for this because he is a high flyer. When he was on the Blazers, that guy can dunk. That guy had a huge vertical. So I'm excited to see him in it. And then Derek Jones Jr., another high flyer. So either way, this dunk contest will be exciting to watch. Some great names. Obviously, they're not super known names. Some of them are, weathered out. But in the end, those guys can dunk the ball. And that's what the event is to be. So it will be very, very exciting this year. Going on to the three-point contest, we got some new faces like Devontae Graham, Duncan Robinson, Davis Bertans. Those are some interesting names. Obviously, great three-point shooters. I'm excited for Devontae Graham. That guy deserves a lot. Most improved player of the year has to go to him. If he does not, I do not know what to do. Devontae Graham, he bounced around the G League and stuff coming into the league after being a top player at Kansas. So finally seeing him succeed in the NBA is great, really great for him. And actually, showing some upside for the Charlotte Hornets. They just need a couple more pieces because I feel like they're showing some flashes of possibility in the future. They have a great young core, so it's good for them there. Zach LaVine changing to the three-point contest. Obviously, we've known him for his dunking, but seeing him be in the three-point contest is really great because he's a great all-around player. Because obviously, he's not always known for his dunking. He's a phenomenal player. The Chicago Bulls as well, a great young core. Lauri Markkanen, Carter. It's just the whole team. There's just great upside for the Bulls in the future. Duncan Robinson, a new name with the Heat. The Heat are on fire. And then Davis Bertans, another solid NBA veteran. So there's some new faces to see in the three-point contest. Obviously, you got Trae Young, another great point guard in the league. Young, he's probably happy about Clint Capella joining his team, adding more depth to the Atlanta Hawks. But in the end, Damian Lillard, my guy, Damian Lillard, Logo Lillard, Dame time. He is going to dominate. We'll see, though. Cross our fingers for us Blazers fans. Phenomenal player this year. Even though we just lost to the Denver Nuggets the past 6 games, he was on fire, averaging so many points. He was hitting so many deep threes, and he was just showing that he deserves to be, known as a top player in the league. And he's done so much for the Blazers, even with all these injuries we have. in all of our mishaps, Damian Lillard to keep pulling through for us, and he's a great player for the team. Joe Harris, another familiar face, great 3-point shooter on the Nets. He's underrated, I feel like. Another name, because I feel like the last couple of years his name started to bounce around more, get known more. Another rising guy that struggled a little bit in the league, and then finally found his trend, to follow his trend in the league. Joe Harris, a great shooter with the Brooklyn Nets. So once the Nets get Kevin Durant back, they are looking for a title run because they have a great bench, and they already have Kyrie Irving, DeAndre Jordan. So next year for the Nets, watch out big time, because they have some great players around those two of Kyrie Irving and Durant. Buddy Hield, my guy from the Bahamas, the guy is awesome. Kings are another young team that's showing some positive upside. So in the future they will be really, really good. A lot of young potential players, and generally looking at these dunk contests and 3-point contests, they're generally mostly young, obviously athletes this year. So I'm excited to see how they show their skills on prime time. So it's good to see that. And plus they're mostly from teams that are, as I said, growing. They're young, a lot of potential. So it's good to see that some new faces and flourishing faces that are growing in the league. As some old veterans are retiring from the past, and we're moving into a new age of basketball. Obviously I would love to see Dwight Howard win the dunk contest, but obviously I don't think he may win because he's a lot older. For the 3-point contest, obviously I'm a little biased here, but I'm going for Damian Lillard. But we'll see what happens. Either way, it'll be very, very entertaining. But I guess I'll end it there for today's podcast. Obviously, once all the NBA trade deadline is going on right now, so all the crazy trades that have been going on, obviously the 4-team trade, as I mentioned, the Clint Capella, Robert Covington, that trade happened. So I'll announce, talk about that in the future episodes once everything gets done, everything is finalized. I like to make sure before I talk about anything, make sure everything's done, sealed right away. And obviously there's still things going in the works, like Andre Iguodala going to the Miami Heat, and then just now we just talked and learned that Justice Winslow is going to be part of that trade. So you never know. It's exciting to listen to the NBA trade deadline because anything can happen. Anything can happen because you don't know what's in the works. So it's very exciting to hear and listen. So hopefully my next episode we will talk about that, and Bronson will be back. And we'll cover that for you guys. So I want to sign off there. You guys have a great night, but wherever or whenever you're watching this, have a great day. This is Big Ev signing off. This is from SporvadoSports. You guys see you later.